Alrighty, there we go. Let's watch Kefka stream for a little bit. Alright. You got Kefka, Staraptor, and Garchomp versus, what's his name? Cadence, Charizard, and Aerodactyl. You got 3 flying types on the field, so Garchomp's Earthquake isn't going to be doing a whole bunch. Although setting up the Stealth Rocks could be absolutely beneficial. And here comes the Mega Charizard Y setting up the Sun and powering up its own fire type moves and possibly Solar Beam if it so happens to have it. And there goes the Sun, and a Mega coming out on Kefka's side as well with that Mega Staraptor that has been such a nuisance in the metagame for especially nowadays. And the read from Aerodactyl hitting a dual wing beat. The question is, will Charizard outspeed everything else? And the answer is yes, Staraptor goes down. I will say losing that Mega on turn 1 isn't great, and the burn on the Garchomp. This is not a great turn 1 for Kefka. And then up go the Stealth Rocks. If Caden does happen to switch, whatever comes back in is not going to be looking good. And then out comes Basculegion, which is interesting. If Charizard has Solar Beam, it's just over for Basculegion. The question is, what will these trainers do next? Garchomp is burned, which isn't phenomenal, but that Basculegion could do some really heavy damage, and Garchomp avoiding that Rock Slide could be huge here. With Aerodactyl being one of the fastest Pokemon in the format, that's pretty good. And then Wave Crash in the Sun isn't going to be doing too much, but it is going to get the KO on the Mega Charizard. It is not known for its bulk. That thing is absolutely certain. Now both Megas are off the field. And then a Breaking Swipe nerfing Aerodactyl's attack just that little bit, it really could mean all the difference. Question is, what will Caden send out next? Because no matter what he sends out, it looks like it's going to be taking quite a bit of damage from that Stealth Rock. It is going to be a Sneasler. That Fake Out can really only go into Garchomp should he choose to use Fake Out. But Dire Claw, being a nuisance in all of the past times it was legal to use in tournaments, could absolutely do some damage to that Basculegion, which isn't really looking too good here in the Sun. Question is, what are these trainers going to do next? Then there is another Rock Slide, still not setting up a Tailwind, and no Fake Out from the Sneasler, hitting once again missing Garchomp and hitting that Basculegion for huge damage, and it gets the flinch, which really isn't good. And then Coaching getting that attack back up to neutral and increasing Aerodactyl's defense by another one, only to get nerfed again by Garchomp's Breaking Swipe. Breaking Swipe really isn't a move that you see too often. But I will say it is really fun to see here. Question is, where is everything else? Because where is the Tailwind from the Aerodactyl? Because now we know that Basculegion is faster than that Sneasler, which could pose some potential problems if Basculegion ever gets to move. And Basculegion going back to Kefka, and out comes the Clefable, possibly trying to heal the Garchomp. And then out comes the Psychic Fangs into the Basculegion slot, not even doing a quarter. Then Brick Break once again dodging Garchomp. It's possible that it could be holding the Bright Powder. And then Earthquake almost KOing the Caesar, but doing a fair bit of damage into his own Clefable. That burn looks like it absolutely mattered there, because otherwise I'm pretty sure Sneasler would have died. if it was not for the burn. But you can't help but wonder, what exactly was he thinking, earthquaking with Aerodactyl on the field? What could his ultimate end goal end up being? Hang on, let me pop over here to check my own thing. And then there's a dual wing beat from the Aerodactyl into Garchomp. That Rough Skin doing some very valuable chip damage. Cochin coming out a little too late to matter, getting back up to normal. And then out comes another Breaking Swipe, taking out the Sneasler and nerfing Aerodactyl again. And then there's Life Dew from the Clefable, healing both itself and its partner Garchomp, which could absolutely come in helpful later. And what is Caden's final Pokemon? A game that started out really well for Caden, really turned around really quick as he sends out his final Pokemon, Gallade. What could this Gallade possibly have in store for Kefka here? I do wish I had a co-host, that would make it so much more awesome with the banter. And Psycho Cut comes out from the Gallade, hitting that Clefable for huge damage, rocking its Citrus Berry. And then there's another Rock Slide going for flinches from Caden's side. Caden's just outspeeding and doing bit by bit of damage. And there's another Breaking Swipe, nerfing the attack even more. Really setting up for that Basculegion in the back. And then a Draining Kiss from Clefable into the Gallade for super effective, bringing it below half and healing back up to right about half. And that burn damage just doing a little bit more chip, it absolutely could matter, especially with that dual wing beat in the back. Or actually, I think Rock Slide kills here, and then if Clefable gets flinched, it might just be over. Because Gallade is currently the fastest thing on the field. There's another Psycho Cut into the Clefable. It's not even a critical hit. And Clefable goes down, dual wing beat into the Garchomp, taking two Rough Skins and taking out the Aerodactyl. We are now in an endgame of Basculegion versus Gallade. What's going to matter here is who is faster. Previously we saw that Gallade is the fastest thing on the field, but we also know that Basculegion with its Life Orb isn't all too speedy itself. Basculegion is naturally a fast Pokemon. Whoever outspeeds here is going to be the person that wins this battle. It has really come down to the wire. And then Gallade outspeeds and lands a Psycho Cut. Caden is your winner. What a match. Wow. Oh, Legion is Scarf? Gallade outsped Basculegion? Alright, looks like Kefka is changing up his team a little bit, which is always nice to see. And then of course his stream is lagging, which makes a lot of sense given my internet today. My stream's lagging behind a little bit, which is a-okay. The question is, what's the stat spread of Kefka's Basculegion? Because that might matter a lot. Because Caden's Gallade is also Scarfed. doubles. Let's go ahead and create a room actually, because I kind of want to fight Caden. Caden, fight me. This team is a little weird. Yeah, that Garchomp was Sprite Powder, which is actually pretty impressive. Oh. Wait, what? No! Actually, yeah, I need to check my stream because I keep forgetting I'm streaming, actually. So I have to keep an eye on my own chat. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and get that announcement out of the way. Bam. Armor Rouge and some others. Hey, what's up, Bulba? I see you in both of the chats because I am peeking at Kefka and getting ready to do some stuff myself. Yeah, I'm not really good at team building, so I can't really help too much here. Oh, hang on 1 second. Hello? Okay. Quack? What do you mean? What do you mean cheese and guac? I thought we were doing taco chicken, that's what I mean. I could've sworn you said taco chicken. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I made green beans. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I can do it tomorrow because that's also a day that I'm designated to cook. I can bring you some to work. I'm sorry. Coach Warren said taco chicken. Let me see. Coach Warren said taco chicken and potatoes. Yeah, I thought you were making the potatoes. Yeah, you said do taco chicken and rice. That's what I heard as you were walking out the door. Alright, well, do you want me to try and draw some out and make you some? I already meal prepped everything. Okay. Jesus Christ. These people want they say they want one thing and then they want another thing and then they do all of the things. It's just super fucking annoying. Okay, what happened? Kefgod the third one. It is a reasonable price as well. What the hell is Kefgod's? And what is happening right now? Yeah, Blaziken's dead. Ay, ay, ay. I thought you said every little thing. No, you gotta follow me, man. Follow me, Dual Wing Beat. Oh my god, what are you doing? Quaquaval always outdamages Clefable in this scenario. Unless they do that. Oh yeah, your opponent wins here. And then my fucking dog! Oh, hello Axo. I'm sorry about all that. Everything is kind of crazy right now. I'm sure you can hear my dumbass dog downstairs. My parents said to make one thing, but then they wanted something else, and I was confused. And today is the ladder reset, so I'm getting ready to go into that. I went and beat the crap out of Kefka too, by the way. So, yeah, this new team that Kefka's trying out, we just absolutely dominated. How are you doing? Oh, you can't hear the doggo? That's good, because honestly, he is annoying as fuck. Jesus. You miss it? It's okay. You can just rewind the stream. Can you get to Master before the hour and 15 minutes? Probably not. Oh, okay, his opponent has a Blaziken, a Dragapult, a Pangoro, a Dragonite, a female Mescalegion, and a Typhlosion. Interesting. Alright, Kefka's got an idea, let's hear it. Alright, what's the idea? Okay. Your day was good. Chill work day, that's always nice. Don't have the motivation for Kalos. It happens, you know? Okay. Okay. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, here's my stuff. Okay. Okay. Is that... Can you use calls when you have ROM hacks like Unbound or Infinite Fusion? Yeah. Honestly, Delta on iOS is kind of mid though. I'll be fully honest with you. It's not phenomenal. Actually, I will be back because I want to go check on something really quick. Jesus Christ. Oh, got stuff. Okay. James and more music? Yeah. Where the fuck have you been? I thought something happened to you. Really, Caden? Really, Caden? Okay, and then some other stuff here from streams right now. Yeah, that's fair. And then, so where you been is like 2 hours. Axo, hee. Yes, hello, Caden. And yeah, Axo, Kefka's live. I was actually commentating his stream earlier, his battle with Caden, and that was actually kind of sick. Actually, let's take a look at how he's doing right now. When it's time to go to work. Actually, he said something about a Nintendo video. But Kefka, what do you mean, my guy? They just came over to say hey. Oh yeah, I'm also gonna go ahead and take a look at that video that you mentioned. The Nintendo video, just to kind of see what you're talking about. So that was Nintendo. Yeah, that's Unite, that's climb to champion rank. That's the dice choose our Pokemon, then we battle. The then we battle videos are actually kind of cool. Pokemon trivia, hang on. Videos, most recent battle. I stole one Pokemon from every player I beat. I think that's the one. Oh god, that's loud. Fucking ads, get out of here. Oh. Alright. Yeah, Team Rocket Champions video. So I'm taking a look. So go ahead and actually DM me all of the details that you're thinking of, just so I can kind of look over it. Just have it for all of the things. I'll watch this hour-long video. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Yeah, your idea for the collab is different? Yeah. I will say, seeing what it's kind of similar to, I am actually a little excited for it. I will be honest. I'm looking forward to it, like a whole bunch. Yeah, there's whenever you get... Anyway, yeah, just go ahead and send me the details whenever you can. So anyway, okay, anyway, I guess we'll just watch Kefka's stream. Well, no, I guess we should probably... Actually, can we get to Master Ball? We're like 5 battles away. Hang on, let me actually mute Kefka's stream. Oh, Moosh! Let's see what you got, Moosh. Okay. Okay, Staraptor Raichu pair, that's really not too bad, I will be honest. You got 2 fake outs, you got Queenly Majesty, so Sucker Punch isn't really an option here. I think this might be a Venusaur game, I want to say. I I want to say it's a Venusaur game, but there are just some Pokemon that wall it so good. Hello, 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 Axo. I do think that Ninetales is a good bring here. So maybe I go Blaziken, Kingambit with Ninetales in the back, and then maybe the Legion? Yeah, I don't hate that. Yeah, I figured, yeah, I'm watching Kefka stream, but, just maybe. Yeah, we're only about 5 wins away from Master Ball, so maybe we could just get there. Whimsicott and Staraptor. So Kingambit gets an attack boost, which is always nice. And then, honestly, what we could do, we could try to Stone Edge. Honestly, I kind of want to Flare Blitz and Sucker Punch the Staraptor. Just kind of get it out of here, Yeah, withdraw that. Oh my god. Oh, that is super bad. Wow. What a read. Now I can't Sucker Punch. Oh yeah. Defiant is really the primary way to play Kingambit in doubles. And yeah, Serena's pretty great. That switch though, that was crazy work. And good to know that without any speed boost, Staraptor does outspeed Blaziken. Bam! That does not do nearly as much as I want. Oh no. This is actually a little bad for me now. Although, now you don't have any normal types. Which is also great for Basculegion unless you have Hydreigon in the back. So I think we do a little bit of that, a little bit of that. Just kind of really get Staraptor out of here. Now the question is, do we outspeed Staraptor? We should. We do not. Now that's a lot of damage. Do we kill though? We do kill and we come really close to killing Serena. And then Drop Kick. I mean, yeah, you don't really have a lot of good options here right now. Oh, I forgot about the attack drop. That's not amazing. And Sneasler. Decorate Alcremie. Honestly, Alcremie isn't really tanky, I'll be honest. Okay. What do I want to do here, actually? Because if I double protect, you could swap into Whimsicott. But if I double attack, both my Pokemon could die here. Actually, here's what I'm going to do. I am actually going to swap to the Legion, and I'm going to Blizzard. Because you only have Whimsicott in the back. And out comes the Legion. The question is, did you fake out into the Blaziken slot? You didn't even fake out. That is certainly something. And then, do we get the freeze? A freeze, that was a crit, which is always nice. Do we get a freeze? No freeze. Oh, but you close combat into the Basculegion. And then, honestly, I think I'm gonna just flip. Yeah, I think we just swap back to Blaziken here. And then we just Blizzard, because we just win now. I swap into that, and then Ninetales is the next fastest thing. Both of these Pokemon die. And then do we get a speed boost from that, or do we not get a speed boost when switching in? Let's find out. And then you just have Whimsicott, so you're not winning this. Yeah, GG's. Okay, that's 1 out of 5 wins needed. How's Kefka doing? Where's my mouse? There it is. Alright. I have no idea what rank Kefka is right now, but I think we're about to find out here. Oh yeah, I forgot I have a win streak. Alright, what rank is Kefka? Kefka is... Oh, nice! He's already Ultra Ball. Honestly, I kind of want to see if I can... beat him in a Master Ball. The date has changed. The date hasn't changed. What are you talking about? What the hell? Alright, Kefka's on a 7-win streak, which is always nice. And then there's the internet. I'm never gonna beat him to Master Ball at this rate. I don't care about the news. Alright, let's see what Dusk has got, and let's move so I can see how much time I have. Oh, okay. Floette Delphox. Can I hear you? I have you muted right now, just that way I can focus, but I can if I unmute. Let me see, what do I want to do here? I'm actually really liking Venusaur here, but at the same time, I really didn't calc against Floette, so I'm not really sure what to do here. But I think I can... I think it's safe to lead those guys, bring Basket Legion in the back. And then, what do I want to do? I think I bring Lycanroc here, unless... No, I think I bring both my Megas, which normally I don't want to do. But I think that's just the play that I have to make here. And then, depending on what they have, I'll just decide on that. Okay, let me see. Dusk, what is happening? What are you gonna lead with? Alright. Sinistcha Delphox. Okay, I think what we do is we just... Actually, hang on. We could just double protect here. I'm not against that. I don't hate double protect if I'm being honest. Okay, so there's the Mega. It is going to be Mega Delphox. So Venusaur really isn't great just yet. We have to get rid of this first. And I have no idea what speed tier Mega Delphox is. Okay, I have an idea. Maybe we trade Megas. Maybe we Mega Flare Blitz. And we kowtow. Because now I'm confident I outspeed Mega Delphox. And it really does look good. I really like Mega Delphox's design. I think it's the best out of the three by far. Well, we get Sinistcha out of here, which is always nice. Akaberry Sinistcha, interesting. That doesn't do nearly as much as I wanted. But we get the burn, which doesn't matter because it's a special attacker. And then the question is, what are you doing? Trick Room! What the hell are you doing? Who uses Trick Room? Hang on. How do I counter this? I don't see Trick Room too often. Okay. I think what I do is I Stone Edge you, and then you're just gonna Rage Powder, so I'm just gonna Kowtow Cleave. No, Trick Room affects everything on the field regardless of if it's grounded or not. Okay, that's one. Question is, do you kill Blaziken? Heat Wave. That's a lot of damage on a Kingambit. And then Stone Edge, we connect. Bang. Delphox is dead. And now, what are your last two Pokemon? Because I really need to stall out this. I need to stall out this Trick Room because it's just crazy. There's the Gambit, and then there's the Ensign. So honestly, this really isn't bad. So what I can do here, we have 3 turns of Trick Room left. I think it's pretty safe to double protect here. Honestly, I think I'm perfectly okay with Kingambit going down because he really can't hit either of these guys. But I do kind of want to preserve Blaziken for the end game. There's the Fake Out into the Blaziken, and then Sucker Punch. Interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to swap into Big Venu, and then I don't really have anything good. So I think I just go for a flinch on the Ensign. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Very happy with that. Then Kingambit should die this turn. There's the Kowtow. Now I get a free switch back into Blaziken. Oh yeah, Follow Me is crazy. And you predicted the switch? What the hell are you on? Jesus. Oh wait, this is actually really bad because you can just Sucker Punch Basculegion and then it's dead. This is the last turn of Trick Room. Blaziken gets outsped by everything. And Basculegion just dies to Kingambit's Sucker Punch. I think the play is to... I don't know. I think maybe we close combat Kingambit and we Aqua Jet Ensign. Nice win streak, Kefka. Wait, you didn't Sucker Punch? What are you doing, man? And then if Incineroar doesn't kill, then we just win. Oh, GG's. We win. Well, if we kill this, then we win. Oh, yeah, GG's. Trick Room goes down. A guaranteed outspeed because you don't have priority. We win. We win this one. Yeah, that could have absolutely been played better, but I was not expecting the Trick Room with the Mega Delphox on the field. I don't know if Incineroar can learn Sucker Punch. Alright. Alright, see you later, Exo. Let's actually take a look at where Kefka's at. I know he's somewhere in Ultra Ball. I know that much. And he's going up against a Rain team right now. Let me see. Tsushima. Okay. Oh, this is 110% a Trick Room team. Question is, okay, now I can do that and that. And then I also want to bring Ninetales in the back and Basculegion. I don't really know what to do against Trick Room teams, I'll be honest. I know that Venusaur is really good here because it just hits almost everything, except maybe Frigoraph, which is why Kingambit's here. If it goes for a Trick Room, I just kill. If it goes for a Psychic move, I just kill, unless it fakes out the Kingambit. In which case I just Mega and Giga Drain the Blastoise. For Riggy, and Sylveon. I think I'm just gonna Sludge Bomb for Riggy, and then also Kowtow for Riggy. Because if Trick Room goes up, then we're just kind of screwed. There's the bomb. Hyper Voice. That hurts. There's the Cleave, and Frigoraph is dead. And then there's the Blastoise, which isn't phenomenal. Yeah, let's take out the Sylveon next. I'm assuming Fake Out on the Blastoise. there's Mega Blastoise. Let's just take out the Sylveon. Because honestly, that's more of a nightmare than anything. Yeah, there's the Fake Out. And what are you doing? Hyper Beam. Honestly, I'm perfectly okay with that because now the Sylveon slot can do absolutely nothing for this turn. So I just have to really target down that Blastoise. Hello, Ninetales. Actually, who's faster? Ninetales is so much faster. Oh my god. Honestly, I think I just do a little bit of this. And a little bit of that. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. And then Sylveon can't move. Now you know I have Freeze Dry. There's a Sludge Bomb. Now that's a lot of damage. And the poison is always nice. Oh my god. Can we just Giga Chad? Honestly, I'm gonna just Blizzard, finish off the Sylveon. There's that. Let's just suck the Blastoise. Now that's a lot of damage. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Dark Pulse. I can live with that. And then King Gambit is the last one. Honestly, that's more of a problem than anything, so I really need to get you out of here. Okay, let's just do a little bit of that. Just get the Blastoise out. Nope, never mind. Guess what, fool? Hey, you may have blocked my Freeze Dry, but I have Earth Power. And then Iron Head. That sucks. And I think we're good to trade water types. Because Venusaur always kills Blastoise here, and King Gambit, yeah, Sucker Punches, then Magic Legion dies. I just Giga Drain, and then I Earth Power on the next turn. Because I don't think Sucker Punch ever kills Venusaur here. And that's GG's. I would have died to crit, oh my god. Alright, now we are officially in Master Ball tier. And where do we rank right now? Oh, sick. How you doing? Oh, another cutscene. Seems hard. Congratulations is in order once more. It's quite the achievement to make it to the Master Ball tier not just once, but twice. Just like everyone in Frontier is talking about what a star you are, and providing a shining example for other trainers to respect and admire. and I know many out there strive to battle with your skill. I'd even say that the red hot energy in the battle arena these days is in large part thanks to you. So keep up the good work and helping Frontier remain the most exciting battle hub in the world. So soon it'll be me you face across battle court, eh? Please. Sure, they'll take their breath away. They come sooner rather than later. Till then. Oh yeah, the idea is interesting if there wasn't an end. There we go. I actually have no idea what rank Kefka is right now. Yeah, I just hit Masters, I unlocked the cutscene, which is always nice. Yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. I'd be down for that. I always needed to get better at team building anyway, so it's actually good practice. Drop my controller. There's a Draco Meteor, probably on the Garchomp, I assume. Yeah, and Garchomp's gone now. Yes, I can hear you. A Dragapult is one of the fastest Pokemon in the game. Actually, hang on. Here we go. Alright. Clefairy is interesting, that's for sure. Oh yeah, Follow Me is always amazing. And then there's the T-Tar. I will say... Oh, they swap out our Caledon? Why? Oh. Ensign. Incineroar is the reason why I have Kingambit on my team, because of Defiant. Yeah, free damage onto Ensign though. Here, pop over there. Oh, is that Leftovers Ensign? Who uses Leftovers Ensign? What the hell? Actually, hang on. Let me just pop in over here, just that way I can commentate a little bit. Yeah, there's the fake out, and there's the rock slide. Yeah, on the bright side, at least we know all of his Pokemon. So, what is his plan here? And the question is, what can we do to counter that? Actually, here, let me move that back over there just so I can see both jets. Actually, let me full screen too. Oh. The question is, now Blaziken is -2 attack, if I'm not mistaken. It's the bridge. Yeah, now you got options. And there's that. Oh. That's a lot of damage on the Dragon Ball. Wow. And Clefable is almost back to full. Yeah. Yep, that's a pretty good play. And then this should go down. Yep. And then a forfeit, nice. So let's see where Kefka is. Ooh, a Canary outfit. We love Canary outfits. Okay, let's put W's in the chat. Alright, Ultra Rank 3, not bad. Actually, where am I? Just out of curiosity. What place am I in as the season comes to an end? I am number 78,283. Oh, hang on, let me swap back over here. Oh. Dual weather is interesting. Don't see a lot of that in the meta nowadays. Yeah, last time I went up against Glaceon just, Hatsune Miku! I see you got a Miku fan as the opponent. I don't know who to cheer for. Honestly, I don't think there's a bad play here, I'll be honest. Yeah, last time I played against the Glaceon, it just died immediately in the endgame. And then there's that. So he's got Frostlass, Glaceon, Milotic, Protect. Interesting, that is not at all what I expected. But Blaziken outspeeds now, and then it one-shots even through Aurora Veil, which is always interesting. If he can't hear me, let's see if he picks that up. Oh. Yeah, honestly, the moves you played weren't bad, I will say. Huh. Yeah, Flare Blitz always kills, even through Aurora Veil, so now their Mega's dead. And then Milotic is probably leftovers. I'm not entirely sure what they're going to go for. Scald. Yeah, that makes sense. Life for Milotic? Interesting. I was not expecting that. So they have Milotic on the field, they have Glaceon in the back. Who could they have left? Can't be Swampert because that's their other Mega. Shouldn't be... It is Swampert, what the hell? What's this person playing at? They already used their Mega, so Swampert is honestly kind of mid in this position. But I'm not entirely sure what the right move is. Ah, an ad. You know, that's another 10 cents for Kefka. Alright, Helping Hand on the Sizzler. That's always pretty good. Hypnosis. Oh, interesting. And then Wave Crash. That's going to do quite a bit, even out of the rain. Ouch. And then Dual Wing Beat. Yeah, that's a fair bit. Oh. Yeah, Bullet Punch just kills Swampert here, and if Glaceon switches in, that's a whole lot of damage. The only thing is, if Swampert protects, then you could be in a pretty bad position. And Clefable has to take the guaranteed turn of sleep. Alright, no protect, so Swampert goes down. And then... the crit didn't matter too much, but, you know, it's always nice. Yeah, there's Ice Beam into Clefable. That is super weird. What the hell? Yeah, now Glaceon comes in. Bullet Punch does a whole bunch of damage. I know that much. I just don't know exactly how much. And then now it's a 50-50 chance if Clefable wakes up here. Yeah, maybe because he didn't expect the Bullet Punch and Swamp Power sped Scizor. Honestly, Scizor almost always runs Bullet Punch. I don't understand how you don't expect it. And then there's the Scald. Scizor goes down, but it's A-okay because Last Respects just kind of kills everything. So this is pretty much GG's. Oh, and Milotic dies next turn anyway. Oh. That's a lot of damage. So I think the right play here is Last Respects the Glaceon and then let Milotic kill itself. Yeah, that's that. And then Milotic, unless it recovers, should die to Last Respects, but then it just dies to Last Respects next turn anyway. Oh, it missed Hypnosis. That's just GG's. Yeah, GG, well played. That was a pretty good game, if I say so myself, and I do. Yes. Yeah, sorry, Yatsune Miku, but we gotta get to Master Ball before the end of the season. Oh. Hoagie. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, there's 110% to Sun Team. The question is, what do we do here? Yeah, I would say Blaziken is a really good bring here, but what do you have for Garchomp? You have... Yeah. Yeah, I think... Yeah, I think Garchomp over Scizor, otherwise pretty good picks. Okay, Charizard Whimsicott. I'm expecting Tailwind and then Mega Heat Wave. So unless it's bulky Charizard, I think Mega Rock Slide just kills, unless it misses, or if Charizard is bulky. And then the Wing Beat just kills Whimsicott. The question is, if Whimsicott Tailwinds, what is Charizard going to do? Because it can really only kill one or the other. Oh wait, you said Scizor was sashed. Honestly, I would just Bullet Punch the Whimsicott. Well, no, Dueling Beat is good too. Yeah, there's the Mega. Dueling Beat's good too if it's sashed. So if it's sashed, it really doesn't matter what you do as long as you... As long as you hit Rock Slide, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, there's a Tailwind, and then I'm assuming either Heat Wave or Air Slash. Weather Ball. That's an option. There's that. There's that, and there's no worry for a burn because it's not Heat Wave. And then Rock Slide, it hits, and it kills. Dual Wing Beat kills Whimsicott. Amazing turn one. And now you don't have to worry about protecting because Whimsicott is off the field. The only downside is they are now under Tailwind. Yeah, Air Slash on Blaziken probably was the play. Yeah, I will say Sash Lycanroc actually came in clutch a couple times for me. The question is, what does he have in the back? Huh. Intimidate isn't great, and Garchomp is a pretty big-ish problem because now big earthquakes are incoming, and you're under Tailwind. What do we do here, though? Yeah, that's not a terrible play. Well, you have Last Respects Basculegion in the back, so it doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, listening on a delay from both sides is just really funny. Yeah, Garchomp just kills Mega Blaziken with Earthquake, though. There's nothing stopping him from clicking it. I think probably Detect on Blaziken. Yeah, I think Detect Bullet Punch probably would have been the best play, but this really isn't terrible. Yeah, there goes Blaziken. If you ever need calcs on a Garchomp, let me know. I have all of the calculations for 6 Pokemon in particular. This will never not be funny, just listening in on a delay. And then there's that, there's that. And then... what do we do here? If it's choice absolutely Last Respects, because the Mega's gone, right? Yeah, it was. It's Mega Charizard, so you don't have to worry about Mega Gyarados becoming dark. So Last Respects should just kill Gyarados in the Sash. So the best play for them is probably Earthquake Garchomp and then what with Gyarados? Oh, that's a thing. That's a thing, apparently. And now Ultra Ball 2. Okay. Okay, we have the Aerodactyl Charizard mode, obviously. We have the Kingambit Farigiraf mode. Not terrible picks, that's for sure. Either a flying type in Garchomp, Aerodactyl and Charizard, or Farigiraf and someone else to help get Trick Room set up. And that's an ad that I can't skip, so I'm gonna let my cat in. All right, ads are over. You're welcome. That's 10 more cents in your pocket. Okay, we got Aerodactyl Sylveon. That is not at all what I was expecting. Alright. I was dealing with the string. Oh, Mega Aerodactyl. Interesting. Yep. Bullet Punch and then probably either Rock Slide or Dual Wing Beat. Oh, Tailwind, no. The question is, does Rock Slide kill here? Alright. And now Tailwind is up. So what's the best play here? Because now everything outspeeds. Honestly, that's exactly what I would have done. And now their Mega's gone, and you still have yours. And then... oh, we eat those. At the very least, Sizzler eats those. I don't know about Blaziken. He's kind of a glass cannon. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Blaziken should outspeed Sylveon again. Flare Blitz just kind of kills. Oh, Flare Blitz just kills both of these guys. So that and that. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful play, I will say. Wow. This game is really going well for you. Bulba Kong? Who called you Bulba Kong, Bulba King? Sash King Gambit? Who runs Sash on King Gambit? But either way, it just kind of dies next turn. Oh. Yeah, the only downside is now Sucker Punch kind of kills King Gambit. Actually, follow me into... if you follow me the Sucker Punch, that could be something potentially. Yeah, I think Rock Slide just does it. So Rock Slide follow me is probably the play. Oh, yeah. That's why follow me is the thing. And then... oh. Hello, 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 Bulba. How you doing? And then there's a flinch. But the Tailwind is gone. Okay, now this is a bit difficult. Yeah, I think... I don't know if they choreograph in the back, so I'm kind of hesitant on Last Respects, but that might have to be the play. Maybe Last Respects and Follow Me. It is still possible to win as long as they don't have choreograph in the back. Am I a commentator? Yes, with an asterisk. Yeah, there's Sucker Punch, which would have killed Basket Legion, by the way, and then you would have just lost. Hyper Voice, that sucks. And now if they have choreograph in the back, you just lose. No, it's Garchomp, so it's still possible to win this. So Last Respects just always kills Garchomp at +3. Right, let me double check the calcs. Basket Legion, 32 plus adaptability, Last Respects +50. Oh, 75% chance to Oko. Why? What the hell? Oh, but it did, so it's good. We love gambling in the chat. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that must have been a low roll into a high roll or something. That was crazy. Yeah, honestly, Bulba, you really should have seen how I commentated his battle with Caden. I was really proud of that. Okay. Hisuian Gudra, Staraptor, Milotic, Yaskarada, Alolan Ninetales, Hisuian Zoroark. Yeah, that's just low rolls and high rolls for you. Bulba, I already did that. What is the play here? Because Ninetales always kills Garchomp. Let me see. Yeah, I don't think bringing Garchomp was the play here, broski. I'll be honest. Hang on, actually, how long ago was it? How long ago did I commentate on the battle? On my side, it was about an hour and a half ago, it looks like. One battle, Hydreigon will have revenge. Interesting. And actually, I'm going to soak his Blast Fire. Okay, Staraptor and Meowscarada. Yeah, there's an Intimidate, which isn't phenomenal. No Intimidate? What? Stealth Rock. Stealth Rock and Garchomp is interesting. Most people don't really run it, but I can see why someone would. Triple Axle, yeah. So, anyway, Garchomp is dead. Oh, no, it only landed once because it missed. So Garchomp is still alive. And then close combat. Yaskarada's dead. And then the question is, what is Staraptor gonna do? It's currently the slowest on the field. Is it gonna Hyper Voice? Oh, okay, that's why. Yeah, that Staraptor is the Hisuian Zoroark because Staraptor doesn't learn Hyper Voice. So into the Staraptor slot, you're gonna want to go either Rock Slide or you're gonna want to go Flare Blitz. Or you could close combat into the Gudra. Either one works. But now we know that he has Staraptor in the back, which is probably his Mega. Yeah, Gudra's dead, and then Zoroark, if it doesn't die, it takes a whole lot of damage. Yeah, Gooey does not matter because we have speed boost. Ice Fang. That's decent damage. Does it flinch though? And then knockoff. Oh. Interesting. And now you're free to switch up your moves as you please. And then there's the real Staraptor, which is probably gonna Mega. And there's that. You know, half the time I misread Omni Ring as Onion Ring, and it's just the funniest thing ever. Whereas that's 10 more cents in your pocket. Close combat, Blaziken goes down. And then I'm assuming another knockoff from the Zoroark. And then it's going to be a 2v1 with Clefable, which is going to be more difficult to win. Yeah. Crazy how much of a difference one Intimidate makes? Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be really difficult to win. Oh, it's got Sludge Bomb. It's just not possible to win. GG's. Well, unless... Yeah, this is going to be a difficult win if you can manage to come back at all, man. Close combat. Do they not have Brave Bird? There's no need to set up. They just win here. Yeah. And then GG's. Alright. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and commentate this match. Oh, my neck. Oh. Wow. That was a good one. Alright. Oh, more notifications. Well, actually, that's actually a good opportunity. I'm actually gonna hop into the room so I can do some more gooder commentating. It's gonna be 1286, 1890. Then I'm actually gonna hide my face for a little bit. Video capture device, hide. Just that way we can get the full screen view like an actual tournament. And I'm the only one in here. Actually, I think I'll just... Oh, hey, Bulba's here. So I think I'll just turn my camera on just until everything is good to go. Here we go. And now we hide. Oh yeah, I should probably spectate. Okay, and then let's spectate the main character's side. Alright, and we got the battle starting right now. Kefka versus Bulba, the tournament organizer himself versus someone who claims to be his rival. Bulba starting out with the Hydreigon and Armarouge, a pretty powerful combo, followed by Kefka's Blaziken and Garchomp, something that has proven to be pretty powerful. So we'll go ahead and see how this battle ends up going. Garchomp being an absolute menace in modern competitive play, especially in this lower powered format. Actually, hang on, let me just mute that actually just so I can focus. And then we get the Mega Blaziken right off of the bat. No Mega from Bulba's side just yet. Not because of a lack of one, but because he doesn't have one out on the field. And that Hydreigon using Draco Meteor probably on the Garchomp. There it is, just taking it out in one go. The most powerful Pokemon in the format is no more for Kefka. That special attack drop, could go absolutely crazy. There's a close combat as a revenge kill, taking out the Hydreigon, but that leaves Armarouge free to do whatever it wants, and the special defense job in front of the Armarouge really isn't great. Hydreigon goes down, and then there's a Psychic from the Armarouge taking out Kefka's Mega right off of the bat. Bulba taking the lead, and I forgot what I was gonna say. But what a lead for what a lead for Bulba. And then Bulba sending out the Basque Legion. Oh, Basque Legion's coming out from both sides. And then there's a Clefable coming out for Kefka. The question is, which one of these Basque Legions outspeed? Because the speed tiers are pretty It could be a speed tie is the thing. There's the Follow Me from Clefable. Ow. Then last respects from Kefka's Basque Legion taking out Bulba's. His Basque Legion winning the speed tie at the very least and bringing the Pokemon count back to neutral. And then there's the Psychic from Armarouge, bringing Clefable down to about half, proccing its Citrus Berry, bring it back up to 74%. Question is, what is Bulba's last Pokemon? Because it could, depending on what it is, it could really help him here. And then there's a Hawlucha, which is probably going to be his Mega of this first game. Hawlucha's Mold Breaker not really doing too much here, but that No Guard could really come in handy if it decides to Mega. And then there's the last respects going into the Armarouge, taking it out in one fell swoop. So Hawlucha is on its own against Basque Legion and Clefable. And there's a Brave Bird going right into the Basque Legion, not quite killing, but doing quite a bit of chip onto the Hawlucha. And then the Draining Kiss from the Clefable, not quite killing. I would say this battle is close, but this battle is all but lost for Bulba. With the 2v1 and a very low Hawlucha, I just don't see a way for Bulba to come back from this. It looks like Kefka is going to be your Game 1 winner. And then there's the last respects, sealing Bulba's fate, final nail in the coffin, taking out that Hawlucha, and Kefka is your winner for the first battle. Alright, yeah, that's GG's all around. Online raid teammates. Thanks, Axel, I'm happy for you. Oh yeah, I forgot. I completely forgot that. Alright, and then let's just mute Kefka's stream again so we can go back commentating, and then in we go right into game 2. Kefka's Basque Legion Clefable absolutely sold it in the previous game. Will Bulba make adjustments? Is he gonna try the same lead of Armarouge and Hydreigon? And as the battle starts, we're gonna find out here pretty shortly. God, I wish I had a co-host. That would make this so much more awesome. I think this is why there's 2 of them. And then Bulba adjusting, sending out Hydreigon and Basque Legion this time around, with Kefka leading the same too. We saw how well the Hydreigon Garchomp Blaziken trade ended up last time. The question is, how is it going to play out with the Basque Legion on the field? With Kefka being the only one that even can Mega this turn. The question is, will he, or does he have another Pokemon in the back? And then there's the Mega Blaziken, who I'm actually quite partial to, believe it or not. Going Mega. I'm not good at commentating too well. And there's a Protect from the Garchomp, learning from the Game 1 tragedy of Draco Meteor. And there's Bulba sending Draco Meteor Garchomp's way, blocked by that Protect, and then Close Combat, taking out the Hydreigon. And then we can only assume Basque Legion is probably going to take out that Blaziken here with a Water move, if it can. But no, it goes for last respects into the Blaziken, and it kills anyway because of that defense drop. Just absolutely annihilating Kefka's Mega. But lucky for Kefka, Garchomp is still on that field, Garchomp being a menace, and out comes the Armarouge on Bulba's side, and the Basque Legion for Kefka. This is quite the battle indeed. Kefka's Basque Legion won the Basque Legion speed tie, and is probably the fastest thing on the field right now, but the question is it a speed tie, or is Kefka's Basque Legion just that fast? And then what is Garchomp going to do, being the strongest Pokemon in the meta right now, used on almost all of the teams? There's the last respects from Kefka's Basculegion again, taking out Bulbas, taking out the fish. Very, very big for Kefka, and taking a 2 Pokemon lead right off the bat, and they're stomping Tantrum. Not quite taking out the Armarouge, but getting really, really close. There's the weak armor, lowering the defense, but boosting Armarouge's speed significantly. That could matter later. And then the Aura Sphere not even doing half to the Garchomp. This is looking quite bad for Bulba. And then out comes Manectric as his last Pokemon. Question is this going to be his Mega? And if it is, what is he going to do about that Garchomp, as it's immune to Manectric's Stab electric moves, which is quite problematic for Bulba here. And Kefka actually retreating that Basculegion and going into Clefable. And there's a Psychic into the Garchomp, not quite taking it out, but almost getting there. And then Volt Switch into Clefable, not able to switch out because it's the last Pokemon on the field, but then here comes a Stomping Tantrum, killing the Manectric, and any hopes for Bulba winning, as because of this weakened Armarouge. And there's the forfeit. Kefka wins the set. GG's all around, well played. Oh. Hey. Oh. Yeah, Bulba, if you're in my chat, why don't you have a Mega? Because Megas are kind of busted. I know you guys can't see my face right now, but I'm just kind of vibing, I'll be honest. What time is it? 21:18. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Okay. Now let me mute Kefka's stream again so I can get back to the commentating. Alright, and we get into our second match of the night with Kefka's tried and true champion team versus Axo's team that actually won the singles tournament that Kefka himself hosted and completely annihilated Kefka with. This is going to be a match for the ages, I will tell you. With Axo's Heliolisk and Axo's my brain is not working. Axo's Heliolisk really dominating in the last tournament there specifically to counter Kefka's Basculegion. Now let's see what these two powerful trainers lead with. Axo sending out Milotic and Tinkaton, with Kefka's Blaziken and Sorcerer lead. And not Sorcerer, Scizor. What the heck? I'm losing my mind. Alright, two powerful leads from two powerful trainers. with Kefka once again being the only person with a Mega on the field on turn 1. The question is he going to trigger it? Because there is that Milotic on the field. And then there is Tinkaton, which you don't see quite too often, especially in VGC. There is the Mega Blaziken coming out on Kefka's side, able to do quite a bit of damage if he's allowed to run rampant on the battlefield. But Axo, knowing this, probably isn't going to let that happen. Blaziken using the Detect to get a speed boost at the end of the turn. There's the fake out from Tinkaton right into the Blaziken slot, not wanting to let it run rampant. And then Scizor using dual Wing Beat on that Milotic, not wanting it to get too out of hand. Well, I don't know how they do this with only one person. And there's a Breaking Swipe trying to nerf down Kefka's 2 physical attackers even more. And then Scizor's attack going down really isn't looking great for him. But they're still both in a pretty good position. Blaziken gets a speed boost. Milotic is revealed to have those leftovers, getting that passive recovery at the end of every turn. Also, I do kind of wish I had a co-host, that would be nice. I know I say that every battle, but jeez. And then there goes that Tinkaton resetting the fake out, and out comes the Scovillain, which in my own battles with them I have found to be quite problematic. And there's the Flare Blitz into the Scovillain, almost taking it out completely, but not quite. And then there's a dual Wing Beat again into Milotic, taking it below half. And what is this Milotic going to do? It is going to Scald into the Blaziken slot, which really isn't a terrible move, taking out that Mega early, while still being able to Mega evolve himself or herself, I'm not entirely sure. Never been good at a lot of things. The question is, out comes the Basculegion on Kefka's side. This really could be close with that Mega Scovillain. Spicy Spray could really cripple this Basculegion and this Scizor that's already -1. But the question is, what is this Basculegion, this Milotic going to do? And then Milotic going right back over to Axo, and then out comes Sunny, not wanting to deal with that Basculegion at all. And then out comes Axo's Mega Scovillain getting that Spicy Spray up, trying to nerf his physical attackers even more. Are we going to see Rage Powder? Are we going to see a more offensive play? Now there's a flip turn onto Scovillain, getting that Spicy Spray off on Basculegion, essentially crippling it for the rest of the battle. But now both Megas off the field, complete board reset as Basculegion goes right back to Kefka. We might see his last Pokemon, which is going to be that Clefable. And then dual Wing Beat onto that Heliolisk, which is known to have caused quite a few problems in Kefka's single tournament. And then Axo sending out that Tinkaton again with that fake out completely reset. Right now, it really could be anyone's game. Both players playing absolutely phenomenally. I don't know how the official makers can do this for 8 hours. Jesus. I'm running out of things to say. Oh, there we go. And there's a helping hand from that Clefable, boosting Scizor's attack that has actually been reset, and then the fake out from the Tinkaton, not letting Scizor get that attack off. And then the Thunderbolt into the Clefable, doing huge damage. And then there's that flinch from the Scizor. And I have things to say again. How do narrators do this? Heliolisk going back to Axo, bringing back out that Milotic. And then there's the Bullet Punch into the Heliolisk slot, not doing quite a lot, but still quite a bit of damage. And then there's the Gigaton Hammer taking out the Clefable and bringing Kefka down to 2 Pokemon versus Axo's 3. This game just really took a turn in Axo's favor. And there's leftovers healing back up any damage that Bullet Punch might have done to the poor Sizzler. And out comes Basket Legion that is full health, but is also burned. Its attack being nerfed in half. At the same time, with 2 Pokemon being down, that Last Respects could do some huge damage. And out comes the Last Respects into the Tinkaton, not quite killing and proccing the Citrus Berry, bringing it back up above half with Brick Break into Sizzler, not doing quite a lot, but still a fair bit of damage. And then Dual Wing Beat into the Milotic, not quite taking it out. And then there's a Scald into the Sizzler slot, probably going for a burn. And Milotic gets the burn. This game just looks absolutely unwinnable for Kefka. Axo getting a burn on both of his physical attackers, just absolutely wiping the floor with Kefka. The question is, how is he going to close it out? Because if I'm not mistaken, the Basket Legion is Choice Scarf, and while Tinkaton does go down, he does have that Heliolisk in the back that is completely immune to all of Basket Legion's attacks. Now comes a Brutal Swing from Sizzler, hitting both Milotic and Basket Legion, with Milotic hitting that recover, making this battle absolutely unwinnable for Kefka. It was a really good run, but this battle is just over. Ugh, my jaw hurts. Oh. No. And there's the Thunderbolt from the Heliolisk, taking out the Basket Legion, turning it into a 2v1 with not only a nerfed attack Sizzler, but also a burn Sizzler, nerfing that attack even more with the Bug Bite into Sunny, not quite getting a berry. But that Scald just absolutely annihilating that Sizzler, and Axo takes game 1. GG's all around. Miss Kefka? There's a Miss Kefka in the chat? What the hell? And then there is Kefka's claim to revenge, wanting to get revenge on Axo for just absolutely annihilating him. Ooh, the Minscape. Hang on. We haven't seen Naminsky's team yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and spectate that one. Axel, I'll keep you up to speed if you're still in the chat. And the battle has already started with Minsky's Armarouge and Raichu against Kefka's signature Blaziken Garchomp lead. Oh, my mouse is in the way. Let's get that out of there. And so far, the battle looks like it could go either way. Garchomp looking really, really strong here, but Blaziken having proven to have an enormous damage output. And then there's Raichu going into that Mega Raichu Y that has been dominating the metagame. And then there's also the Mega coming out on Kefka's side. Mega Raichu versus Mega Blaziken. This really could go either way with both Megas out on the field now. There's a Detect from Blaziken getting that free speed boost at the end of the turn. And there's a Thunder Punch going right into that Blaziken slot. Then Garchomp go ahead and throwing a Stomping Tantrum, killing Naminsky's Mega right off the bat. And there's a Psychic from Naminsky's Armarouge going right into the Garchomp, doing a lot of damage but not quite killing with the crit. And there's that speed boost for the Blaziken. What is Naminsky going to go into next? Then there is that Hippowdon setting up the sand and really trying to target down that Blaziken. That could absolutely be a problem later. Garchomp is at low HP, but he's also one of the strongest Pokemon in the metagame right now. Blaziken, one of the fastest Pokemon in the metagame. Could do some huge damage here. There's Protect coming out on Kefka's side in the Garchomp, as Blaziken goes for a Rock Slide, really trying to get the flinch on the Hippowdon, but the Hippowdon dodges, really trying to target down that Armarouge there, doing well over half to that Armarouge, triggering that weak armor. And then there's a Psychic going into the Blaziken, just knocking it straight out. Both Megas are off of the field. And there's the Rock Slide coming from the Hippowdon into the Protect and into the now empty slot. Sand doing that extra chip damage on Armarouge could really be good for Kefka. And then out comes the Basculegion, ready to get that revenge kill. The question is, what is Naminsky's play here? Because then there's Aura Sphere with Armarouge now outspeeding Garchomp, taking it out with a follow-up Aura Sphere. Then there's a Flip Turn, just bringing Hippowdon way below half and swapping back out to Kefka's final Pokemon, which is going to be probably that Clefable. And there it is, there's the Clefable from all the previous fights, and then there's the Rock Slide hitting that Clefable for about a quarter of its health. And then there's the Sandship taking down Armarouge even more. We still haven't seen Naminsky's last Pokemon. And then out comes Basculegion. That Last Respect's now as powered up as it can be, aside from Clefable going down. But Clefable being up is really good here for Kefka. And there's the Fire Blast going right into the Clefable, not quite taken out, but getting really close, proccing that Citrus Berry and bringing it back up to about 40%. Last Respects are going into that Armarouge, taking it out permanently. The question is, what is that Hippowdon going to do now that it's been left alone? And there's Life Dew from the Clefable, not quite healing up Basculegion, but giving Clefable back some much needed HP, bringing it well above half. As Hippowdon goes for a crunch onto Basculegion, doing quite a bit of damage and not quite taking it out. This could be really bad for Naminsky, leaving that Basculegion on the field. Question is, what is his last Pokemon going to be? It is going to be an Emolga. We don't see Emolga too often. Maybe Naminsky's trying to be the next Sage Park. Maybe Emolga's got something in the bag that we have no idea about because we don't see it too often. Or maybe he just really likes Emolga. But what we know is that this battle is not going to be one to forget soon. Then there's a Follow Me coming from the Clefable, possibly protecting Basculegion entirely this turn, and then there's the Last Respects going into the Hippowdon, taking it out with ease as Emolga's up to fend for itself against these two monstrosities. As Thunder connects and hits that Clefable because of the Follow Me, leaving it with about a quarter, not quite taking it out, but getting that paralysis. That could absolutely save Kefka here. Then Sandship bringing Clefable into the red and breaking Emolga's sash if it so happens to have one. But the question is, what is Kefka's play going to be? Because while it's going to be difficult for Naminsky to come back, it's not quite impossible. He does break through the paralysis, get that Follow Me off, and that really could be the end of Naminsky, as Last Respects goes off and it kills the Emolga, giving Kefka the victory in this first game. Wow, what a game. Hang on. And then we got Colton Shaw in the chat as well. He's out for blood? Who, Kefka? He really is. He's doing very well. I'm actually quite surprised. Not that he doesn't normally do well. And then there it is again, that request for Kefka's blood. And we are going to be going for the perception of Axo this time. Ow. As the team preview starts, we're getting right into game 2. With Axo having taken game 1, will he adjust to what Kefka might bring, or is Kefka just going to bring the same 4 Pokemon once again? We're going to find out as we get right into this game 2. Now Kefka sending out Blaziken and Clefable this time, not a lead we've seen before. And Axo bringing out Whimsicott and Froslass. This could be really great for either side, depending on how both of them decide to play it. As Froslass, a really strong special attacker, especially in the snow, but not quite very strong physically. Actually quite frail with a low defense stat. And Blaziken pretty strong, but also pretty frail in and of itself with that Tailwind. How is Kefka going to adapt? And out comes the Mega on Axo's side. We do see that Mega Froslass setting up the snow. No, and we actually don't see a Mega on Kefka's side for once. We actually see a helping hand from the Clefable, a Tailwind from Axo's Whimsicott, guaranteeing that Froslass outspeeds here. And then there's that Aurora Veil, guaranteeing that physical and special moves do that much less damage. And then out comes a Rock Slide, doing quite a fair bit of chip, but not quite killing either. And then there is that speed boost coming from the Blaziken now. Dinner, And then there is that Follow Me from the Clefable. Question is, what is it redirecting? There is a Moonblast from the Whimsicott. That does quite a bit under half, not too much, but there is the Psychic, probably meant for that Blaziken. Getting Clefable just under half, procking its Citrus Berry and getting it right back up to where it was. And there's the Flare Blitz going right into the Froslass, knocking it out. And Kefka taking first blood in this battle, now seems to be ahead. Although we still don't see a Mega from Kefka's side, I wonder why that is. And then out comes Kappa the Milotic. Milotic has proven to be a pretty big hurdle for this team to have to try to counter, and under Tailwind, this thing is just going to be an absolute monster. Question is, what is that Whimsicott going to do? There's a Giga Drain coming from the Whimsicott, bring Clefable right back down to under half and healing just a little bit. And there's a Flare Blitz going into the Whimsicott, taking it out with ease. Question is, what is that Milotic doing? Is it going to go for a Scald? Is it going to try and make a lead and go for a recover? There is that recoil, and we're going to find out here. Milotic actually going for a Breaking Swipe and trying to nerf down that Blaziken, bringing it under half. And there is the Life Tube from Clefable, just bringing Blaziken right back up. And Kefka is looking really good here, being up by 2 Pokemon. And then out comes Sunny, the Heliolisk that has proven to give Kefka quite a bit of trouble in the past and now. Kefka coming into the chat and asking Axo if he's throwing, which he very well could be, as the Follow Me comes out on the Clefable. Then Helios Scarf going to go first this turn, going for a Thunderbolt, and just doing so much damage onto that Clefable. And then Close Combat going into Helios, taking it out, as Milotic is left to fend for itself in this 1v4. This battle is just looking more impossible for Axel by the minute. Kefka really coming back for this game too. And Clefable goes down, but it might just be too little too late. And then there's another speed boost for the Blaziken. Kefka wondering why Axel went for Breaking Swipe instead of Scald. And then there is the Staraptor, very well explaining why Kefka didn't Mega that Blaziken. But Intimidate comes out, boosting Milotic's special attack, but it might just be too late for that. I don't know how the hell commentators do this. Jesus. And then Kefka actually going Mega on that Blaziken here. And quite the interesting choice. There's a Close Combat, and it's gonna do some huge damage, just immediately knocking out with a critical hit. Kefka taking game 2. And now it's all tied up. Are we going to see a game 3 between Kefka and Axo? Ooh, riveting. Yeah, GG's all around. That was very well played. Especially for Kefka. Ow. It looks like we are going to see a game 3 between these two. So let's just go ahead and hop right in there. In the last game, we did see that adjustment from Kefka bring in Staraptor. The question is, are we going to see even more adjustment from Axo in this game 3? We are about to find out as we just dive right in. Kefka on that 2-win streak from the Minsky's battle, and Kefka bringing out Blaziken and Clefable once again, as Axo brings out Milotic and Scovillain. Quite the interesting lead here. Scovillain is not what I expected to see. That Milotic has proven to be a problem time and time again. If Kefka can get all God, I'm too tired to say that. We do see that Protect from Scovillain, no Megas just yet. But we also see that Follow Me from Clefable, assuming that a Scald is going to be coming out. And then there is the Rock Slide from the Blaziken that is going to connect onto that Milotic, doing a fair bit of chip damage. Is it going to get the flinch? It is not. Out comes the Scald, probably meant for the Blaziken, right into that Clefable, and getting the burn. The burn doesn't matter too much on that Clefable, but that little bit of chip is always nice to have. The Milotic healing from those leftovers, Clefable hurting from that burn, and Blaziken getting that speed boost at the end of the turn is always nice to see on Kefka's side. I'm out of breath, Jesus. Then we do see the Mega coming out from Scovillain here. About ready to activate that Spicy Spray should something else decide to swap in. Because Axo otherwise has entirely physical attackers on his team, Spicy Spray is going to be quite good into it. Here comes Follow Me from the Clefable and more chip damage from the Blaziken, which is immune to Spicy Spray because of its fire typing. And out comes a Scald, once again meant for that Blaziken. That brings Clefable well below half, once again proccing that Citrus Berry and getting the flinch on Scovillain. And we see more leftovers recovery, we see more chip, another speed boost. Things are just looking really good for Kefka right about now, but Axo still has a chance to turn things around if he plays his cards right. Ow. And there's the helping hand on the Blaziken, which is now the fastest thing on the field. And then out comes a close combat, just wanting to get rid of that Milotic once and for all, and it does. His defense is lowering, but that doesn't matter right now, as probably Axel's biggest threat is now off the field, and out comes Leech Seed. Not something we expected to see here, but getting that passive recovery is always something. And Blaziken now finally taking a little bit of damage from Leech Seed, and Scovillain healing just a little bit. Blaziken getting yet another speed boost, and we still haven't seen a Mega from it. And then out comes Tinkaton. That fake out, primed and ready. Question is, what is Axel going to do? As he is now down 3 Pokemon to 4. Kefka has the number advantage. Does Axel have a way back into this game? Out comes the fake out into the Blaziken slot. And then there is that flinch. Fable doing the Fable giving out a life due to itself and Blaziken to have a little bit more healing. And then the Giga Drain from Scovillain bring Clefable once again below half and healing just a little bit more. And then there's the Leech Seed healing up Scovillain even more. This thing is absolutely going to be a menace in the late game. Scovillain actually healing up all the way to full, and Clefable being chipped even more by the burn. We still haven't seen a Mega from Kefka's side. Does he have that Staraptor in the back again, or is he saving it for prime opportunity? And there's a Rock Slide from the Blaziken doing quite a bit to that Scovillain, and a little bit of chip onto that Tinkaton. And there's the Gigaton Hammer just annihilating what is left of that Clefable, taking out Kefka's primary means of recovery, and also his only means of redirection. And then out comes Flamethrower. That does quite a bit, leaving Blaziken at 4 HP with a critical hit. Blaziken just dies to the Leech Seed now. Axel finding a way back into this game, leaving Kefka with his final 2, with Axel's last Pokemon still unrevealed. Then out comes Kefka's Staraptor with the Intimidate, and then Kefka's Garchomp as well. 2 physical attackers not looking good into Scovillain with its Spicy Spray, able to burn it and halve their attack stats. Question is, what is Tinkaton going to do about it? We still haven't seen a Mega from Kefka's side. Is this the moment that he's been waiting for to use that Mega? And yes, it is. We do see that Mega coming out on the Staraptor side, turning its Intimidate ability into Contrary. Is he going to go just for damage, or is he going to go for bulking strats? Out comes the Stomping Tantrum into the Tinkaton slot, taking it out with ease. And then Staraptor is going to be the next move here. What's it going to be? It is going to be Brave Bird going for the kill. Question is, does he get it? He does. But now that Staraptor is burned, its attack stat being halved, but it might be too little too late as Axel sends out his last Pokemon. Scovillain goes down, Spicy Spray activating just once. And there's a recoil, there's the burn, and Axel sends out his final Pokemon, which is going to be that Heliolisk that is meant specifically for the Basculegion that didn't come in this 3rd and final game. This Heliolisk really not looking good into the Garchomp here. What is Axel going to do? Because Thunderbolt will absolutely annihilate the Staraptor. But there is a Focus Blast that actually connects and goes right into the Garchomp, just barely doing under half, and out comes a Stomping Tantrum from Kefka, taking out Heliolisk in a one-hit KO, letting Kefka win this 3rd game. GG's all around as Kefka takes the set. Kefka finally got his revenge, huh? Oh, thanks, fellas. I really appreciate it. Ow. Ow. watch a lot of actual competitions, so I pick up a thing or two from Rosemary and Cybertron and all the other commentators. Whenever it's not a tournament, you're not locked in at all. Yeah, that's fair. Oh. Honestly, my jaw is kind of sore from commentating. I might do a couple battles myself, but honestly, I think I'm not even gonna commentate this one. I think I'm just gonna watch. Oh, hang on. My second monitor decided to do the second monitor thing. Actually, I'm gonna turn my face cam back on because I'm not quite going to commentate this battle. Cool. I don't know how official commentators can do it. My jaw hurts. Oh. Charizard and Raichu, interesting. This is Blaziken and Scizor. This really isn't a phenomenal position for Kefka, I'll be honest. Although it's not absolutely impossible if he can hit that rock slide. The thing is though, Raichu always outspeeds Blaziken, especially on the first turn. And then Scizor going back to Kefka, outcoming the Basculegion of all things. And then there's the Mega on Please Gamer's side. It might end up being a Weather Ball into that Basculegion slot from what we saw in previous games. And then there's Mepale. Love to see it. Love to see it. And there's the fake out into the Blaziken slot, which isn't phenomenal. And then Heat Wave. But Basculegion does dodge, which is always nice. But then we do know that it's not Mega Raichu Y. And there is a Detect coming out on Kefka's Blaziken. And then another Protect. Was that bait? We might never know. There's a Flip Turn going into the Charizard, which would have killed, but doesn't. And then there's a Discharge, which is probably why that Charizard protected as it did. And then out comes Discharge, which is going to do huge damage onto that Basculegion. Likewise, I'm not going to be commentating, and I'm commentating anyway. Maybe I shouldn't go into trade. Maybe this is the career that was always meant for me. An introvert with not good social skills. Alright, don't worry, Axel, I'll be waiting. Raichu goes back. Resetting that fake out as Venusaur comes out, which could potentially be problematic. And then we are going to see the last two Pokemon from Gamer here as Venusaur and Araquanid come out. Venusaur does avoid that rock slide, and Araquanid taking quite a bit of damage here. And then Flip Turn also going for that Araquanid, bringing it below half and bringing Basculegion right back over to Kefka. Leftovers Araquanid. I actually don't see Araquanid too often. What does Kefka have to say about this? I am a little bit behind on the stream. There's that. Going into the Skizzers. And then Crusader goes back out. Probably yep, there's the Raichu. Blitz. Focus Sash Raichu. Quite interesting. And Dual Wing Beat taking out that Araquanid. And then here we are again. Do we have a bullet punch? We got a bullet punch, baby. Kefka takes lead 4-2, but depending on what Charizard does, it might be 3-2. No, he goes for Solar Beam. I was expecting a switch into Massey Legion. And there's the Venusaur, which just immediately dies to Blaziken. As does Charizard, depending on what Kefka decides to go for. There's no way to set the sun back up. Venusaur is just kind of dead weight now. There's a Rock Slide, but it misses the Pokemon that it needs to hit. But do we get a flinch on the Venusaur is the question. There's a Heat Wave taking out the Sizzler and the Blaziken. Just out of curiosity, what was the Venusaur gonna go for? Yeah, out comes Mask Legion, whatever his last Pokemon is. Who's gonna go for Giga Drain? Interesting. Comes Mask Legion into Fable. That's respects. That's respects. That's respects. If Kefka keeps Master Legion alive, then he just wins. Venusaur's gone. Scorching Sands. This battle just got so much harder for Kefka. That crit was very unfortunate. And then there's the Heat Wave doing just about 50% clogging that Citrus Berry. Maybe Kefka can hold on a couple more turns, but it's really... yeah, there's absolutely no way Kefka wins this now. Yeah, GG's. Num num num. Oh, maintenance is currently ongoing. Yeah, honestly, even if you did follow me, that was probably lost unless you last respected the Charizard. Oh. Yeah. Well, that's the end of Champions. Oh. Well, that's a shame. But if you last respected the Charizard, Kefka, then you probably would have won. Yeah, that kind of crashes my idea for the stream. So, I think I know exactly what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to clean up my desktops. Calcs. Let's just save that. Shift that over there. I think I'm going to just full screen that. And then I can head over here, unfull screen you. Yeah, but... Oh no, he's Scorching Sands. He didn't use Heat Wave. So that actually makes a bit more sense. If he did follow me, then he... Yeah, follow me would have won. Last respecting Charizard, follow me would have won. Yeah, GG's. Alright, I will see you when I see you, Kefka. Actually, what I might do... Well, no, it's 10 o'clock. I should probably get off. So everyone, it was quite fun. Thank you all for coming. And I will see you all when I see ya. No, hang on, where is the...